What's up? Good afternoon, good evening, probably good evening for everybody. We're about to get started in a moment. We decided to try a little later time today just to see how that goes. I think I do have hear myself. Time out, time out. We got an echo. Just saying, I think we do have at least someone that said they wanted to come chat. So we're going to see if that is the case. And if not, it's okay. We're gonna go make some videos instead of stream. The only way to figure out when to stream is to stream. So that's basically what we're doing at the moment. So hopefully we'll wait a little while. Little while. We'll wait a little bit and hope some people pop in. Notice I got my title off a little bit here, so let me fix this. You want to see the word slavery on there. Slavery. That's what we're talking about today. One of my biggest crappers about the Bible is slavery. You're good, yeah. You know what's funny is I was actually watching some of those debates at the moment. It's okay, man. No worries. Like I said, if we end up not having anyone come in, it's okay. But you do have a good point, by the way. Uh, so I don't expect much attendance, but we'll see, man. It's all right. It's all right. We'll see how it goes. We'll see. We'll see. Let's see. Oops, sorry. I don't know what I'm doing here. One second. One second. Where's my OBS? Oh, Discord. That's what was showing. Something on Discord. I guess it's not showing what I want, which is this. There we go. I just saw something weird pop up. It wasn't nothing personal, but I wanted to make sure. So for sure, you are possibly right that we'll be ending this stream fairly quickly because yeah, for sure. I was actually watching some of the channels or the channel, I would say. I was actually watching it before I started this. And 100% it will not hurt my feelings if we end up having it in the stream. I will just go make some video content and upload some videos. So either way, we're gonna be all right, guys. We'll be all right. What I did, what I was watching was it was an interesting conversation because Matt Dillahunty was talking to another guy, and they were kind of debating with each other, which I like because I don't think just because you agree with like a group that y'all shouldn't have some discussions as well. I think it's really weird when everybody's just agreeing. So it was kind of cool to watch them debate about morals. They were debating about whether it's like objective morals or not. I don't know the other guy, but I just know Matt. Obviously, everybody knows Matt. But it was pretty interesting to watch. So oh, I just got a message. Hold on. Or I didn't get a message. Never mind. It sounded like a message. Hey, thanks, man. Or thank you. I call everybody man, by the way, so I hope nobody ever takes offense to that. I call everybody dude, like really, like everybody, like whether you're a woman or a man, I say dude a lot. I do not believe in objective morals either, but it was just interesting to watch them argue. I don't know if some of y'all were watching that. I doubt you left that stream to come to mine, so I'm not even going to pretend, I guess. But maybe you're also watching that and I'm on the side. But it was very interesting to watch Matt and the guy debate about subjective, objective morals. And what I was saying is just because like groups agree, you kind of start turning into a religion when you just have to agree with each other. So I do like to see uh I like to see in debates a little bit, not in fighting, right? But like I do like to see like the in debates, like, so it's kind of cool to listen to them and watch. So today, I did have a person that said they did want to come chat. We're golly, hold on. They said they wanted to come discuss some stuff, so we'll see if that happens. If not, no problem. I was watching and watching Deconstruction Zone of this. I know, isn't that kind of cool though that there's so many channels that are popping up. People are not afraid to kind of speak out, even in this time of actually where everything's reversing. So it's kind of like the religious don't have to prove anything culture is kind of trying to come back, right? And what's interesting to me though is I think what happened is there was this period where we were allowing like flat earthers and alien conspiracies and like the Joe Rogan days when Joe Rogan was considered okay. We were just allowing those things to be considered funny. And that was during the big atheist movement at the same time. But nobody was focusing on these channels growing and growing with conspiracies. And this is what happens. Like now we have this culture in the United States at least where it's just like all that shit that we thought was funny is now taking over. Maybe not flat Earth. Like flat Earth, I think flat Earth is so ridiculous. Nobody jumps on the bandwagon. Too many people still jump on the bandwagon, but it's one of those things where it's just like you got to keep these things restrained, even if they're funny, right? And for years, for I would say like a 10 to 15 year period, it was just considered a joke. Right, and then, like, the new atheists were coming out and all that, and it was becoming big and popular, and it was just like a joke. Um, yeah, it's not about Christianity, by the way, not at all. I had the same desire as you. It's like if you're being irrational and you're lying, I I hate it. I truly do hate it. I hate it. I truly don't mind. Maybe I'm a little different than some of the other channels you watch. I truly don't mind if you believe ridiculous things. It's just, I think you can believe ridiculous things and still be rational at the same time because I feel that way about myself. Uh, I I know I still believe some weird stuff, but I have learned to not let it affect my daily life. And there was a point in time where it did affect my daily life, like something bad would happen, and I can be a little bit superstitious in a way. I think that just comes along. Like I played sports, I play a lot of poker in my day, And with things like that, you see patterns and you start to get just a little bit superstitious. So something bad would happen, and like I was that person, and it's just like, oh, it happens in threes. So then I would kind of make it happen in a way, self-fulfilling prophecy. So I don't think you can control those things like that just pop into your head, but I do believe if you take the time to have some emotional intelligence and calm down, that you can go about your day with those things still in the back of your mind, unfortunately. But you don't have to, like I said, almost ruin your life like I did. So long speech there, but like I said, we'll see. Those commands are supposed to work. It didn't even work. Let me see. Like those commands are supposed to pull up stuff. It just did the command and nothing happened. It's kind of funny. That wasn't the point. Let me see. Discord or not Discord. Nightbot. Nightbot. Man, did I spell it wrong or some shit? Just saying. Discord. Don't make fun of me as I read my own writing. I mean, I don't know why it's not working. I mean, it's not that big of a deal. What I was trying to do this stream is somebody suggested setting up a server. So I already had like a server for Discord, but that that exclamation point Discord is supposed to pull up the link so you get to Discord, but who knows? Shit don't want to work, bro. Is what it is. This is a little trial and error type of thing. So we'll see how it goes. But all right, let me check my Discord. Like I said, we did have a gentleman that wanted to come in and chat at the beginning because we're kind of a little bit more in agreement on things. And I was like, well, when you're just starting out the stream, most likely nobody's jumping in to debate with you. So if this is the time you want to come chat, then that's probably the best time. But I actually don't see this person online, but we'll ping them and see. But like you said, I know I am fighting with I guess I shouldn't be displaying this. Sorry, as I type. Uh, there was nothing like personal in there, but I guess I shouldn't display it as I type to somebody. Anyways, how are your days going? Hopefully, well. I had like an annoying work day, but it just is what it is with work, man. Just moving along, keep moving along. Oops, what I do? Put myself on screen. All right, my bad. All right. Oh, I think I know what it is. That. He said, "Hang in there, both atheist channels are finishing up." It's all right, bro. I mean, it's not like wait, like I expect all those people that were in there to come in here, right? But it's still funny to me. I find it funny. You got to be able to laugh at these things. But the thing is, when you're trying to grow, you have to just suck it up and deal with it because that's just the growing pains, right? So it's all good. But that is funny that you brought that up. It's like, hold on a minute. You might be coming. So that's cool. That's cool. Nah, it makes me laugh. It's funny, man. It's all good. I'll see if our buddy wants to come in here and chat. And if anybody else wants to chat, I think it's just better to work where I know it sucks to just sit here and wait. So, if anybody that even agrees with me kind of wants to just come and have a discussion until somebody else pops in and wants to debate a little bit, I think that's cool as well. Let's see here. What am I trying to do? I am trying to do something. That's not it though. Pop out, pop out. Studio. Nope, nope. That it? Nope, nope. All right, there it is. Ooh, all right. I did see Joel reads the Bible. That was supposed to be a joke, right? I don't know if you're messing with me now, but I thought it was supposed to be a joke, right? I watch a lot. I mean, I'm sure we all watch similar stuff. So I don't understand why my commands aren't working. Not working. Oh, it did work. Hey, it worked. All right. I think Joel is more of a performer, right? I can imagine that he was probably like in stage plays. When I watch him, that's the vibe I get, right? He was in like stage plays. So nothing against that. It's just that is a style that certain people will like, certain people won't. Just like with me, right? Certain people will like my laid back mentality and some people won't. It just is what it is. Some people combat the childishness. Some people combat that of the people they're arguing with, and they just do it back, right? So I've watched enough of Joel, right, to see that's kind of his defense mechanism in a way. Not like he's scared or anything, but it's like that's the way he fights, right? So yeah, Eon. I don't know if I'm saying his name right. Yeah, he seems very knowledgeable. I'm not sure who John Steele is though. Not sure on that name. But the whole I know people like the like logic debates, and I think Ian's good at that, right? Like I don't know, it just right there you go, like the Phil Bro stuff, right? Like it's just I don't know, because I could or anyone, not I'm not saying it's like I'm special, but it's just like you can come up with an argument and just say that that's it, right? Like that's correct. if you can talk smooth enough, it kind of reminds me of like Obama, right? If you can just talk smooth, man, like you can make anything sound good without really saying anything. So it's I don't know. Like I if I'm with a friend, I kind of like those philosophical debates and discussions. Um, but I'm like, are we really talking about anything? Really? We're really not talking about anything. So don't get me wrong. I am one of those people. Like, if anyone that knows me, I don't think anyone knows me that's in the chat right now, but I can talk in that way, and I will speak in that way when I know nothing's on the line. But when we're talking about these kind of life altering important things, then the philosophy part to me, I try to avoid it. Right. I don't think Ian's that way. At least I haven't seen that, but yeah, it's like the Jordan Peterson type stuff. But I did message our person that said that they want to join. So we'll see. I'll see if I can get somebody in here. Even if they agree with me, let's see if I get somebody in here. A lot of my people are scared to pop up. To be fair, like I'm not even a mean guy, man. I'm chill, bro. That's what I be saying. Like, I'm a chill dude, man. Just chill. I did take the suggestion though, and I set up a server that has a stage room, and that's when you're on stage. And then I have a waiting room called backstage. So when people start joining, we have some little areas for everybody to go. Da, 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 da. I don't know what I just posted. Delete. Try it again. There it is. But I do want to talk about some slavery today, man. If I can get one good slavery debate in, that's my favorite topic. Like, real talk. That's probably my favorite topic. Oops, sorry. Yeah, we can get some slavery discussion in, because the way people be defending slavery, man. Theist philosophy is a word games. Yeah, for sure. It really is. Yep, yep. Yeah, what do you mean by? What do you mean by dot dot dot? How about that? Oops, I almost slipped and fell. What do you mean by dot dot dot? Okay, that Nightbot is going too fast. It says every 5 minutes. When there's not a lot of people talking, that's too fast. Let's see. So we will change that. Let's do 10 minutes. As I said, you guys are helping me test this out, by the way, so I don't want you to think that you're not helping me. So I appreciate anyone showing up. We're at the beginning stages. I'm very resilient, by the way, so we will we will keep trying to get people in here and keep trying to get debates. Dang it. Messed up. Hit the wrong button again. Da-da-da-da-da. Seeing myself. Trying to get the chat in. What happens when you should lock your thing, by the way. Just telling you guys. If you ever do a Discord stream, just make sure you lock it on the OBS, and that way you cannot accidentally click and do what I just did. Luckily, I don't accidentally have just personal stuff up on the screen. Just in case. All right, like indentured. Was it indentured that said, "Hey, we just gotta wait a little bit because the main streams are ending. We just have to suck it up and deal with each other for a moment. Let's suck it up. Let's suck it up." I have to look at this John Steele character you're talking about. I've never heard of them. If they're popular, I kind of like to. I like to do reactions, obviously. So if they got some good videos, I mind doing a little reaction to them. Hopefully, our Big John Steele. Put big in his name, Big John Steele. I'm Big John Steele. All right, have to see. Is he from Texas? Big John Steele from Texas or from Wisconsin or Alabama? Let me know if I got that right. Canada. That's way off. That's way off. You said Canada. Okay, I guess. I guess Canada's got some country, right? That's fair. I don't know much about Canada, so that's just me being a damn United States citizen, not knowing shit about anybody else. So it's fair. Last day of work tomorrow. I don't know if you guys have jobs, but I obviously have a job. And one of the main things I talk about, Canadians are slaves, just like here in America, but Canada has free top of the line health care. Yeah, that's fair. Don't get me into politics about healthcare, man. The richest nation in the world doesn't give a shit about healthcare for its citizens. Golly. We'll spend 200 billion on the black project, but Nah, we ain't gonna spend 50 billion on healthcare though. Our education. Hey, thanks for your service. One of my sons just joined. Probably won't say too much personal stuff about it, but I'm proud of him as well. But what was I saying? Sorry, I was going on a rant, which is good. We've been giving Israel 3.5 billion since 1979. Yeah, but we can't do that to ourselves. That is so strange to me, by the way. And how are we tricked that way? It's it used to be so weird to me that I believed that elections weren't real because in my mind there was just no way that we as citizens would just keep voting these people in that never helped. So, I mean, I'm not totally conspiracy on elections anymore, but yeah, I don't know. It just seems weird to me. It's like we all would agree, like if we're all kind of, well, it used to be this way. Like we used to all agree that big corporations suck and all that, and now it's like the big corporation that is on your team is okay. As to where it used to be, all of us non top 1% folks would agree, like, hey, all these people suck. Now it's like, no, no, no. The rich people don't suck on this side, but the rich people suck on your side. So I don't know what the hell happened. I don't know what happened. And I know this ain't the topic, but hell, if we're not going to talk about biblical slavery, I guess we'll talk about modern slavery. Yeah, I mean, I know it's a lot of lobbyists, right? But I mean, like, there've always been the things that you just said, but it used to be I could go to the bar, and even if I was a Democrat and it was a Republican, they would agree on that part. They would be like, "Hey, these corporations suck, man." And now it's not that way. You can go to the bar, you talk to the other person, the other like at first you'll say the corporations suck, but then once you figure out whose side is who, and then the other person starts pointing out how the people that fund Trump or something are bad. Now it just becomes like, well, wait, hold on, your side funding that, right? So it just becomes this whole whataboutism thing. As to where it used to be like, yeah, you're right, man. These people are shitting on us. These people suck. But now, like they were so great at dividing us in the last 10 years. Like they divided the shit out of everybody, man. They did a great job, and I'm one of those people that you have to recognize the greatness of some things, even when they're bad, because that's the only way that you can combat them. So what they've done in the last two elections to force everybody on sides is a scary, beautiful thing. And I say beautiful because, like, if you were just like an evil warlord genius, what they have done is almost like perfection. It's pretty crazy. Like, there's people that will defend the stupidest shit now just because the color. Yeah, the people that defend the billionaires make like 40K. Yes, that's crazy. Like you're broke and poor, and you defend people that make trillions of dollars, billions of dollars. Like it's just crazy, man. Social media definitely a big part of it for sure. It is supposed to be the government is supposed to be scared of us, and they don't give a shit. They're not scared of nothing. Like the administration right now is showing. And here's the thing: what I want to say right now, because I'll shit on the administration right now, but what they've done, everyone needs to be scared of, because even if your side wins next time, they will now do the same shit that this administration has just done, because they have shown that there ain't shit anyone will do or can do, right? Like, so the next president will do the same shit that this president is doing, by the way. And that's, I don't know, man. That's creepy. Like everybody that thinks they're on this president's side thinks it's awesome that this person is getting all this power, but wait until somebody else takes over, you're not gonna think it's that awesome anymore. I talk to some of my friends about that all the time. I got some MAGA friends and all that shit. And I'm like, you think this shit's cool, bro, but you just wait. Yeah, Mike Pence. Yep. Or sorry, you talking about Kamala? I apologize. I actually give Mike Pence some credit for trying to stopping the insurrection. So my bad. But you're talking about Kamala. Yeah, I shouldn't say Kamala. Like Harris. For some reason, we don't call the women by their last name. I don't know. I'm sorry, Harris. Yes. Like I shouldn't be that way. Vice President Harris. Well, the thing is, it's weird, man, because as much like I mean, I totally disagree with this administration, right? But I don't see the next administration, if like what usually happens, it just flips. I don't see them taking away power, right? Like, do you see them taking away power that now they have? Like, I don't see that happening. And that's something interesting to think about. Oh, you got to run, or are you saying got to run? I don't know. If you got to run, that's cool too. By the way, I don't know. I don't know what the got to run meant, or if it's a part of our conversation. Hey, what's up? I actually sent you a message, Los, because we just been chatting, man. So I didn't know if you were jumping in the chat or not. It's okay. Don't if you're not able to, it's okay. So don't take it in any like pressure type way. We just been kind of hanging out, having a good time. I did add the Nightbot, so got some commands. 100 for 2 joules. I'm not sure what that is. I ain't gonna lie. I do not know what that means. Uh, I feel like oh, there it goes. Like my stuff was tripping for a second. I wasn't getting updates. Okay, I do see the 100 for 2 joules. I don't know what that means though. I don't know what it is this means. What's 2 joules? Do I need to give you some push-ups or something? I don't know. Just saying. I might be looking old right now. I don't know what a lot of this shit be meaning. I used to stream back in the day, bro. I used to stream. I had the same vibe though. It wasn't anything religious, but I used to stream like League of Legends, and I was just promoting the non-toxic way of being competitive because I am a very competitive person, but I also feel like there should be some honor in this. Like if I'm gonna beat you, I want to like beat you at your best. Uh, it's one of those things that it kind of got me in trouble when I was coming up playing sports. Is like I was pretty ruthless, but I was ruthless like I want the other guy to show me his best. Hey Patal, welcome back. I'm still waiting on you to get into this Discord, man. I think we would have a good conversation. Why don't you jump in? I will here's the deal I'll give you. If you jump in the Discord, I'll let you preach for 1 minute as long as you let me rebuttal. You get a full minute right off the bat. That's a long time, by the way. Don't think it's not. You get if you join and come talk right now, you get a full minute to come preach, but you just gotta listen to me preach back though. But welcome back. Your brother was in the WoW. I never got into WoW. I also had a brother that was in the WoW. I don't know if that's like an age thing because my brother was a little bit older than me, or he's quite a bit older, but he's older than me, and he was in the WoW. I never really got into WoW. Why people blame God when God warns people do what they do, what they do? Um, if you want to talk about Adam and Eve, I will say this. It was not fair what happened to Adam and Eve because they were not presented with all of the facts, right? Even if God said, don't do something, God did not explain to them what would happen. So I take it like this: when I tell my kids to not do something, I don't just tell them not to do it. I tell them not to do it, and then I give them the reason why because I want my kids to understand. And when I say I give them the reason why, I actually explain it. So, like, God was like, I believe God said, "You will surely die," right? These were new beings that had no clue what death meant. So, God should have explained that to them a little bit better. Now, the caveat to this is God might have just been lying because they did not die. God didn't say, hey, you will die at some point. God said, on the day you do this, you will surely die. Now, I know the excuses, I know the apologetics. People are going to say that, oh, it was a spiritual death. I know everybody is like, oh, words don't mean words in the Bible. Sorry, I just saw your comment. But now, whether we want to call it a lie or not, I get some people think that omission is not a lie. Like, I'm not that person though. Like, if you don't give all the details, you kind of lying, bro. God, yeah. I mean, like I said, I kind of I didn't read your chat, Fatal, but I kind of knew your apologetics, right? Because I used to believe in those. I don't know if I ever believed in those apologetics. I just believed in God so much. It was just like, even when I found contradictions, I was one of the people that was just like, well, when I die, God's gonna give me an answer. That's kind of how I used to tackle it, because I can't lie to myself. I've just never been that kind of person. So when there was a contradiction in the Bible and I was honest about it, I would just be like, hey Jay, when you die one day, God will probably tell you what you're missing there, but right now it is a contradiction." And so I was pretty honest even when I was just like 100% believer. But Patal, I'll say this: why was the devil even in the garden? Tell me that, please. Imagine if you put a cobra snake slithering around your baby's crib. Is it your baby's fault if it grabs the snake, or is it your fault for putting the snake in the crib? Think about that one. You put the snake in the baby's crib, and you told the baby, this is a baby that doesn't understand you, by the way. You told the baby, hey, don't touch the snake or don't move, and the snake won't bite you. Is that fair, Patal? Can you be honest with me on that one? I just want you to be honest one time. Like, give me an honest answer for real. Don't give me an apologetic. Like, I want to see if you can just be honest with me here. Yeah, I think Satan. I'll give Satan the death of. I believe. He was allowed to kill Job's children, right? In Job's slaves, like the house dropped down on him. I think that was Satan, right? So I think he did kill a couple people. Yeah, but you're not. You didn't answer my question, Patal. I ask you a very specific question. Let's look up the story of Job. Let's see. I think Satan did. God allowed Satan to do it, right? Because I think the second time Satan went to God and said, "Oh, okay, Job's still praising you because you won't let me harm." And he was like, "Okay, you can't harm Job, but you can do whatever." But let me see real fast. The story of Job. Did the devil kill his children? All right, so let's see. It says, yes, it says Satan the accuser causes the events that kill Job's children, but only after God gives permission. I know God gave permission, but I will give Satan credit on that because Satan didn't have to go do it, right? Because free will and all, but it does say that. So we have Job 112. It says, "And the Lord said unto Satan, Behold, all that he hath in thy power, only upon himself, but not for thine hand." It says, Job 118 through 19. It says, "Thy sons and thy daughters were eating and drinking wine in their eldest brother's house. And behold, came a great wind from the wilderness and smote that four corners of, or sorry, and smote the four corners of the house, and fell upon the young men, and they're dead. Yeah. So Satan did. He killed some people, but God did give the permission. So, but if we're putting up a numbers game, I mean, I think God killed millions. Yeah, it'd be millions, right? Because I think during Noah's flood, like I don't think there was billions of people. I mean, Patal, you're kind of skipping the point of that God allowed the devil to do it, and you still didn't answer my question, by the way. If not, God wouldn't be all powerful. He is biased. God's definitely biased. We know that. God's kind of racist too, because God has a people. Sad to say. Like, why do you have a people? Mm, Patal, you are actually no fun. Like, I'm a nice guy, but like the fact that you won't like even respond to anything anyone says, that's just not fun. Like, like respond to what somebody's saying. Like, come on, have a conversation. God made people to be slaves. That's the part of why I put my title. Like, yes, God wants slaves. I think that comes from because a lot of the biblical stories come from ancient or ancienter stories or whatever that means. So if you talk about like Anunnaki and stuff like that, like we were we were created to be slaves. So I think a lot of the stories that came after that are kind of tying into that ancient culture and history. It's also why a lot of the ancient texts all have the same type of stories. There's That's not a coincidence that almost all ancient stories have the same rhythm, right? Just like all modern stories have the same rhythm. Like you know it's a modern story by the rhythm of it, right? And then you can go back to like the 80s, you know it's an 80s movie because there's like a certain rhythm to it. Like it's I don't know, it's all there. But God made people too. Where does it say what? Sorry. Uh Calver. Being someone's servant isn't a slave. Mm, I'm gonna think about that one. Being someone's servant isn't a slave. All right, let's look at what God wants. God wants you to praise it no matter what. God wants you to worship it no matter what. God wants you to do whatever it wants it to do no matter what, for the sole purpose of the glory of God. That sounds kind of slavish, right? That sounds kind of slavish, man. Like everything is for the master. That's a slave. Like that's a slave. I don't know what to say. That's a slave. Wait, is it not a slave? At least you kind of actually responded to me, Patal. So I'm kind of giving you a little credit there. You actually responded to what I said. So let's keep this going. Don't just preach to me. Like respond to what I'm saying. Like if you don't want to join the Discord, which I think you should join the Discord, but Keep it going. Actually respond to what my comments are, and then we'll get along just fine. Also, guys, don't forget, click your buttons, all that good stuff. YouTube likes it. I like it. I shouldn't even say YouTube like it. I like it when you guys click the like button. It makes me feel good. I won't lie to you. It makes me feel good. When I see the likes, I get a warm, fuzzy feeling. Okay. What's wrong with serving God, people slave for the government paying taxes? I think that's bad too. I don't want to be a slave to anyone, man. I don't want to be a slave to anyone. It doesn't matter who it is. Yo, yo, hey, thanks, man. I appreciate that. Thank you very much, Los. Los, I still want you to hop in, man. Los, Bean, anybody can hop in. I see Bean Daddy in there. Y'all can hop in. We don't have any believers that are brave enough to hop in, so I don't mind people hopping in. Like we can chat it up, talk about some stuff. Whoa. I would like to sell my daughter to slavery as a sanction in Exodus. Oh my God. I hope you're saying that as a joke just to show how horrible it sounds, but yes, that is sanctioned. And remember, Jesus told you to follow the law until the end. It has not been the end yet. So technically, what you just said can happen. It's true. People don't have smoke for the government, but have smoke. No, people have smoke for the government. I don't know what you're talking about. What are you talking about? People definitely have smoke for the government. It's just, if you were here earlier, what I was saying is like now people pick their sides. Like if their government is the ones doing bad, they'll act like it's nothing, right? The whole whataboutism, right? If Trump does something, they say, what about Biden? Right? So, but overall, like, I mean, isn't the word servant in Hebrew mean hired worker, royal official? Um, if here's the thing here, right? Let's get back to the actual subject and the topic of this stream. If slavery was like being a servant, then God would have never freed his people from Egypt. You have to pay your taxes because there's punishment, just like God. I think a lot of people wouldn't believe in God if there wasn't a hell punishment. It's the same thing. A lot of people wouldn't care. Like if there was no hell, I guarantee you a bunch of people, I'm sorry, if there was no conception of hell in the Bible, a bunch of people would throw away the Bible. People already throw away the Bible, by the way. We had the last series or the last lives where I was like, people really don't believe. Uh, but anyways, but back to what I was saying. Let's stick to this subject. If God showed up every day like the government shows up, people would save their souls. That's just what happened. Would happen. Like the government will come take your ass to jail now, right? If God was that way and God showed up every day, then yes, it would be the same. The fact that God doesn't show up is the only reason everybody walks around pretending to believe. But back to the slavery subject, by the way. If slavery was like servitude, where you were treated good, God would have never freed the slaves. God freed the Israelites from Egypt for a reason, right? That's because slavery is bad. Slavery is bad. God already showed himself. Look in the mirror. I prayed to God a lot. God never talked to me, man. I'm still waiting, by the way. I'm definitely open to it. Right. And then the Israelites proceeded to own slaves after getting freed. That's some crappy stuff, man. Let's just be real on that, y'all. If you don't think punishing somebody for enslaving you and then enslaving them is not bad, I don't know what to tell you. That is obviously not cool, man. Can we be honest about that, please? You're not a literally God. I mean, I know what you meant, but it doesn't like I feel like you're kind of avoiding what I'm saying though. Like, I mean, I know what you mean. You know what? Let me see if I can get my boy to join. He said he wanted to have a chat. He's actually a believer, but I don't know. We get along though. He's a believer, but we get along. My buddy. Let me see if he jumps in. I need to go get some more orange juice, by the way. Yeah, technically we made God in our image by my thoughts, but yeah, but you're just making assumptions, Patal. You're just making assumptions. Like we're not having proof behind what you're saying. Hey, we got somebody that's gonna join. That's what's up, my buddy. Let me I'll send him the invite. Oh yeah, that's a horrible verse, by the way. Blessed is the man who sees your infants and dashes them against the rocks. So bad. So bad. All right, you guys keep chatting it up. I need to go get some more orange juice. I'll be right back. I was laughing because my kids were watching my stream. I usually don't. I don't be allowing them to really to watch my stuff. I'm one of those. The type of parent I am is kind of I want them to kind of find their own path without my input as much. Like I still try to teach like basic like human etiquette, but I kind of want them to find what they believe is true by being logical and thinking. So I don't try to poison their brains at all in a way. So yeah, we say we have a volunteer. I thought Los, you were supposed to be my volunteer, man, but it's okay, bro. It's okay. It can be a little scary to hop on stage. Just type exclamation point Discord, and it'll give you the link, and that'll take you to the backstage, and then I can make you into the stage. I can bring you to the stage. Why atheists say God is evil and horrible, but continue to bring babies. Current topic is God loves slavery, or God loves slaves. So let me bring it up for you. Check myself. There we go. Bible slaves. God loves slaves. God loves slaves. If you want to talk, join that little Discord. It should bring you to my backstage, and then I'll bring you to the front stage when you're ready. And what's up, D Non Willin? I'm bad with names, by the way. He said, thanks. God is definitely pro slavery. All right. Well, you agree. God is horrible, bad father. Let me have a baby. Wait, are you finally agreeing, Patal, that God would be a bad dad? If I did everything God did, I would be bad, correct? Well, I think right now we're pretending that it's true, right? It's like I'll play along with the game, right? But we're going to call it out for what it is. So if God is a father, God is never there, which means God is an absent father. God does horrible things, which means God is an abuser. And then God punishes you for not obeying it, right? Which is another form of abuse. Right. Yeah, just because you think a character is evil does not mean you think it's real. I think Patal, we talked about this last time, where just because I say, um, golly, I can't even think of the name. Just because I say Darth Vader is evil, I don't really believe that Darth Vader is real. Okay. You can critique a character. I was just talking to a buddy of mine about The Boys. I might start watching that again because I won't spoil anybody, but I heard it was a good finale. I don't know if any of y'all watched The Boys. I refuse to bring any more babies into the world. Sorry. All the babies I brought into the world, or when I thought, when I believed everything. That's kind of funny. Just saying, all the babies I brought in when I was like, I don't know. Just saying, brother. Oh, we got somebody on the stage. Okay. So let me ring to voice. Did I do that right? I don't know what I'm doing. I'll figure it out. Hold on. Oh, move to stage. My bad. All right. So we got our first in the chat. Let me put my headset on. What up, man? I can't hear you if you're talking. Uh-oh. Can you type in the chat if you are speaking? Uh-oh. I can't join. I'm on the back. Okay. You can't join right now. Got it. You maybe put my headset on and now my hair is messed up and I can't take my headset off. Now I'm stuck. I gotta wear the headset from now on now. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. If Voldemort is bad, why have babies? Correct. Why have babies if Voldemort is bad? Nice. We got our buddy Blades in here. I know he's ready. He's always ready to talk. What up, brother? Yeah, I can't call it, man. Just having a little decent time with the folks in here, and let me turn you up a bit. How's it going? How's your day? Smooth enough. Smooth enough. They lot of these people be scared to come in here. I don't know. I'm a nice guy, man. Just let them know I'm a nice guy. I'm pretty cool. I'm pretty chill. We got Los waiting. Los oh, you're trying to join. I mean, I don't mind having a couple people in here. Uh, yeah, I'll join you back up there. There you go. You seem reasonable. Okay, hey, if you really want to debate, like I said, you can join in. Um, I think everyone in here will be cordial. Hey, what up, brother? Yeah, yeah. You told me off the bat that you was gonna join, and I was like, wait, like it's all good. All right, cool, man. All right. Oh, does it like lag out? Oh, okay, I got you. Oh, hold up. They can't hear. Hold on, my bad, y'all. I think I know what's up. All right, y'all go ahead and say something again.
Alrighty.
All right,
Hello,
there,
Can you hear
hello.
me?
there we go. That should work. I see the,
I'll
I
let
see,
Blade go first.
I see the meter going. Patal might be trolling. I don't know, but
Possibly.
let's, like I said, as long as the person's not saying anything ridiculous, I will allow it. So, I did say to Patal, at least respond to some of the comments. Don't just preach, please.
Mhm.
Like that's just kind of annoying if you're just gonna preach and somebody gives you a rebuttal and You don't say anything because to me that's a scarier person to me. Like I'm okay with you believing, but if you just believe so much that you don't even have a rebuttal to somebody's thing, like it's like I don't know,
Right.
you're just in crazy mode at that point. Right. You know what I mean? So I believe when I was like you, Patal, let me just say I was probably like you. I would quote actual scripture. I would actually say what I believed versus meant. I did not just sit here and just say like child, and I'm not trying to talk shit about you right now, but the way you're doing it in a way is like childlike. You're like, well, God says this, but you're not putting any like actual context behind it, right? You're just stating claims without providing the evidence. So to me, you're actually kind of being a bad Christian in a way because your job would be to convince us all because it is literally the most important message there would be. So when you're just saying things like that, you're actually doing a disservice to what you even believe, which makes it's probably why people are calling you a troll, because it doesn't sound like you're really trying to defend anything or bring anybody to the faith. You're just playing this game. Uh, and if this is true, it wouldn't be a game. So no, they're not being ridiculous to you. No, we're not gonna play that game. I haven't seen anybody be ridiculous to you. Anyways, all right. We got two people in the chat. So, guys, the topic of the debate is God loves slaves.
Alrighty.
who who who
Oh man.
who wants to put some input into that? Because I gotta I if I talk, I'll talk forever. So I'm gonna let people talk first because I got a
Uh,
mouth.
mm,
Blades, you're on top of the page. You want to go first?
Alrighty. Do I don't think I would say. I wouldn't say love. I'd probably just say indifferent more so to it than loves it. Just more of a kind of like if you're observing. I don't know if you've ever played like any simulation stuff or anything like that, where you just watch them, see what happens, let them do their own thing, kind of thing, where you either intervene sometimes and don't. I think it's in that kind of a space of where it's like, you know,
Okay.
you're kind of like, oh well, here's the choices you make. Here's what y'all want to do. I want to see how that operates, but I'm not. But it's not something I it's not something that I might personally, if I was, observing it, that it might
It's
be
like a
kind of like a stance of hands off. Like this isn't that much of a concern to me, either way.
You're pretending to be God in that, right?
Yeah, 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 yeah. In that instance, that's how I would assume knowing everything that's going on. Because it's like he knows everything. He knows the ups and the downs and things like that. So it's like but from that point, that's why I say I don't think he loves it, but I think he's just indifferent to it.
Right. I want to make sure so everybody understands too why you're saying what you're saying because my question was, does God love it? So I just want to make sure we focus on that. That's actually the question. So I hear you being honest and answering that very specific question. So like you're saying if God is God, this would be the reasons why it well, okay, would you agree that it seems like God would you say I'm fair in having the thought that God loves it? Like looking at the whole story, am I fair in thinking that? Or are you saying like I'm just way off?
I don't think you're way off. I think it's just the matter of just kind of like, well, what would you have to say that, he loves it? Like it's something he gets a joy from type of thing. And that would be like, what perspective would you be coming from, to have that kind of viewpoint? Kind of, probably
Um,
more so determine it.
I would probably ask you now. Maybe it should have been my first question of what you think slavery is.
I would think it just the just the act of devaluing another human being for your own personal needs that devalues them as a human, and
Okay, okay,
it could be
okay.
in any context,
I
you
kind of
know.
like. I kind of
Mm.
like that. Go ahead, Los. Sounded like you were
Oh,
about to
you
say
want me to
something.
go?
I thought you were about to say
Oh,
something. So,
I mean, he could keep going, or however you guys want to do this, and then before I put my input on it, or I don't know how you want
Uh,
to.
okay, well, yeah,
Let's
okay.
see.
Blades, if you want
You want to
to
do that?
keep going, then that's
Yeah.
cool. If you want a response, then we can go like that.
I don't know. He can say his response to that
Okay.
question as well. What does he
I
think?
think we
To
should do
set like
that.
a
I think
baseline.
that would. Yeah, I think that's a good idea. Like where we go by topic by topic. I come, put my little input on it or whatever. Whoever goes first. But anyways, that's it's very interesting. Um, I'm gonna, without trying to troll, I'm gonna try to defend the side of like the Christians because for me, I feel like me being an atheist is it's gonna be too easy and too much of an agreeable thing for me to like. I feel like I wouldn't be giving much to you because it'd just be me agreeing with the fact that I'm like, oh, God is this. No, it'd be too much me bashing God from my perspective. But I want to say that I think if I were a Christian, I'd say no, like if I was still currently a Christian, I'd say, no, I don't think God is that he likes the idea of slavery, um that he did what he needed to do for a reason. He didn't have that hand in that would be something that the devil would had something more the lines of the devil would come in and take over. If that makes sense. I don't know if you want to.
No,
You
no,
can
keep
stop
going.
me. I'm
I
gonna
like
count. Okay.
what I do
Okay.
because I want to hear people talk because I can talk forever.
Okay.
I'll take a note of something that I want
All
to
right. Yeah.
respond
Just
to. Yeah.
all right. Interject at any time because at some point it may seem like I don't know what I'm talking about.
If
But
you're as long as you're actually going
yeah.
about actually saying stuff, I'm
Mhm.
cool.
All right.
Usually what I would do is just stop you if you're like just telling a story. You know what I mean?
All right. Right.
Yes.
Just
So,
ranting.
so
Okay.
you're
Got
you're
you.
good to me. Go ahead. Yeah.
All right. Awesome. So I was saying pretty much what is that like? What that would be the point of where Satan would come in, right? Where he's Um, I don't know, man, because then this is where it becomes very difficult to defend Christianity and because I would have to take that kind of power away from God, but I don't know every scripture in the Bible that would counteract that, that would counter that, what okay, why would God allow slavery? Why would that be even a thing? Why would that, and again, I'd have to, bring up the devil. I'd have to bring up Satan and
Okay,
and
now
say that
now 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 I'll interject real
okay,
fast because
go ahead,
I think what you're saying is important here because if we're
go ahead.
saying that it's the devil,
Hmm.
I like to just go back to the main thing, and I forgot who I was having a conversation with yesterday, and I
Okay,
could come up with a lot of same things you're saying, but at the end of the day, it comes down to would you be believing that God is all powerful? Would you be believing that God is all loving? And would you be believing that God is was omnipotent, knowing everything? I forgot which I forgot which one it is, but knowing everything, right?
right,
Because
right.
Omniscient.
okay, because in that
Mhm.
it kind of
He's
starts to
perfect, right?
it kind of starts to destroy any excuse, because I think as human beings, what we do is like we're given an excuse because we're making God us. And like we are fallible. So everything you're saying, if was like a leader, like say it's like the most powerful leader there is, but they're still mortal, I would expect that person to still make mistakes, right? Like if Superman makes mistakes, and like you know what I mean, but Superman's fucking Superman. Superman's awesome, and he still makes mistakes. So it shows you he's not this being that we're talking about, right? So that's why power isn't just the main thing. It's the fact that it's all loving and all knowing and all powerful. All three of those
Okay.
things is what makes
Uh-huh.
there's no excuse for any bad.
Gotcha. Now,
Because the
let me
only
ask you a
reason
Go ahead.
I'll finish real fast and then I'll let you.
Yeah.
Uh the only this is why I
Uh-huh.
try to let people talk first, by the way.
Okay, go ahead.
The only reason the only reason bad is okay is
Mhm.
because there's not an all they're all powerful being. So
Mm.
it's kind of like you have to let bad happen and fix it because you can't control it. But when we have an all powerful thing, bad is no longer necessary unless that being wants there to be bad.
Mm.
So go ahead.
Okay.
I'm done for now. Good.
I,
Yeah.
I I got another interesting question for you that
Mhm.
goes along with, bad, good, evil, and God, and pretty much this is going to go back to the whole slavery thing. Is that do you think because we do have a history of where we had okay, let's take for example our first president, George Washington, right? I I hate to bring this up, but he had slaves, right?
Yep.
And he was still seen as a leader that was he did things for the country. I can't remember everything. It's been so long since I've been in a history class, but I know for sure he's our first president and all this other stuff. He's just one of many examples that I see is that a lot of great leaders in the past. So I'm speaking as though I'm a Christian. I'm saying that a lot of great leaders that we've had in the past define great, but in their time, that people, witnesses, that were around at the time, seen them as great. So at the time, we thought, as human beings, that that wasn't something that we thought necessarily as bad, as that was something I think that is when we look forward in time, when we go to fast forward to the future, we look back at it as, well, can we forgive God or can we forget just as though He has forgiven us?
Could I forgive God?
Um,
But but my
I
my see
go ahead, you
my
interject
my
anytime.
okay, my thoughts on that though is that
Go ahead.
the George Washington thing that's a perspective thing because that's the people that write the history that have that viewpoint. People that were his slaves might have a
Mhm.
different point. Other people that. Then number two is could we forgive God? Why would we have to forgive him? What would we be forgiving him for? To
If
forgive
he's
him would
perfect,
mean
right?
he made he made a mistake, and
Mm,
then that kind of breaks down the whole system.
But God obviously
So
makes
mm,
mistakes, guys. Like I said, when we're doing these things,
mm,
we have to kind of pretend that the Bible's true, right? And the interesting thing to me about
right.
the Bible and why I actually love the Bible is that it's
Mhm,
such an intriguing story because this is why I like Superman too, by the way. He's one of my favorite characters.
mhm,
Um he's so powerful that he is bound to fuck up, right? He Superman will
yeah.
mess up because he is so powerful. And that's like a I don't know, it
Mhm,
like gives me a little emotion even when I talk about it. It's like it's just like
mm,
you have this being, right? Like let's just say we're pretending right now that we all are saying God is for sure real. Um there's this being
mhm.
that is all powerful, but why would that ever include perfect? I don't even understand why we just assume perfect just has to go into it. I think that's our human brains
I
putting something onto something because we think, and as a human, you think all powerful just means you can do anything, and then our brains turn that into perfect.
I
Because
think I
go
think
ahead,
with
go ahead.
that,
Mhm.
I think with that, it's just y- because of him, being present, knowing everything. I think from our perspective, it's kind of like what's a good example that they always use is
Mhm.
like a 2D world and a 3D world. There's certain things that you just can't perceive, and certain things that look perfect from
Oh,
a
okay.
2D perspective that doesn't look perfect from a 3D perspective. Like I feel like for us, there would be no way to know that he is making mistakes or that he made a mistake. To us, it could look like a mistake, but to him,
Would that not still
everything's
fall
going
into
amazing.
my that would still be a mistake to me, right? Because a perfect being, like say I'm a perfect father, like I can't be my kids, but if I'm perfect, I could figure out exactly what the hell they're thinking and what they think is perfect, and then they would never think I'm bad. That would be truly me being perfect. That's what perfect would be. Like perfect would
But
be go ahead. Yep.
I feel like even that perfect would be a perspective because I feel like we'd have to be able to find a perfect that's universal, other than just the flat
but
out
but that's what
doesn't
An
make
objective
mistake.
perfection,
but
right?
but
Yeah.
that's what a
You know,
perfect being would be.
but a perfect being could be, abusive
Maybe.
and still
Yeah.
find a reason for it to be perfect.
Mm.
So it's like,
Perfect
things like
being
that
could be
where
abusive.
you know a perfect being and
Okay,
the
okay.
framework of things could be a bad person.
Let
A
me
bad person
play
can still
let
do
me
it.
let me play with
That's
your
interesting.
scenario though.
That's very interesting.
If it's a perfect being, what would happen is it would be so
Mhm.
perfect, it would convince
Right.
me that being abused was the correct thing, which now makes it not abuse. Right?
Right.
I would just be
Wow.
going along with it, and like it would not be abuse anymore because I'm like
Mm.
it would know. I don't know how to explain it, but like I'm with you on the whole thing that um sometimes bad things make good, but we're talking about a perfect being right now that would know how I feel, so it would come up with the perfect scenario that I would happily go jump off the roof.
Yeah, but the thing with that though is if a perfect being convinced you that you weren't that being on fire was good doesn't stop you from not being on fire. It's from
Yeah.
a
Uh,
context, you're still on fire.
yeah.
It's
Mm.
just you're just convinced that it's fine and in your eyes it's perfect when that's how I kind of view it. At least it's kind of like, and perfect would have to be, isn't such a complex thing that it's hard to really narrow it down to be like, okay,
Oh,
this is
sorry.
perfect.
I'm breaking my own rules here because we have to like I think what a lot of people do and the problem is that we focus on one attribute and forget all the others, right? So we're supposed to be saying God is perfect. We're supposed to be also saying God is all loving, and then we're supposed to
Yeah.
be saying God is omnipotent, right? So
Right.
Hmm.
with all of those things, what you just said to me would never happen.
Mhm.
I would never be in pain because God's all loving, right? And all loving, by the way, not human loving, because like we have a version of human all loving, which even humans would be like, oh, I still love you, but I'm gonna slap you. All loving is like beyond that. Like I am so loving, I would never harm you at all. That would be all loving.
Right. It wouldn't be a thought. It
Right.
just
I,
happened.
I literally I
There would
literally
be
can't
no.
harm you. That's to me that's all loving. And let me know
Mm.
if y'all disagree with that definition, but to me that would be all loving because the reason I come up to that conclusion is because I love my wife, I love other people, but I love my wife closer to all loving. So guess what? She gets to do some shit. You know what I mean?
Okay, I have a question.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
like like
yeah. I
she
like
she
what you're
gets
saying.
she
But
gets to do some shit other people don't get to do. Like I'll knock somebody else
mm,
out, but since I love my wife in a different way, like she gets to do shit that I would never allow, and I never think about knocking her out.
mm,
Does that make sense? So it's
it
like
does.
do that times infinity for God. Literally, I could never do anything that God would be pissed at. Go ahead though, Los.
My question was basically, what about okay? Say like, I guess you could say Satan in this case, in this, but before getting into that, saying like generally speaking, like if God is looking at like there's outside forces that happen to come along though, that it's not necessarily God's fault that these things happen or that these things
I gotta
come
stop.
into
I
he's an
gotta
all
stop you
loving.
right there, bro.
Did
Because
I just
because
contradict? Go ahead.
nothing cannot be God's fault. We have to remember the
Despite
properties
him.
that we're talking
Hmm.
about, right? If you're all powerful, everything's your fault because you could
Hmm.
have done something about it.
Even though
Now,
bad came into the picture. Got it.
yeah,
Got
doesn't
it.
matter, right? Doesn't even matter, right? And
Mm,
I'm trying to, and I would even say it's still God's fault for creating the bad. But let's just see, because I also believe, and
mm,
the only reason I don't argue with some people on that point is because I believe some things uh,
hmm
are created out of, like bad can just be created out of just things being. It doesn't, even though in the
hmm
Bible God does say He creates evil, but I'm trying to play along here.
Right.
Um,
Yeah.
like I some things just become out of it. Like I think of like consciousness, right? Like
Uh-huh.
a bunch of shit that's not conscious comes together and then we think we're alive. So that's what I mean by think. I don't know the word for it. Somebody in the chat please tell me. But there's a word for that. It's
That's
just
deep.
it's coming from something, but I don't I can't think of the freaking word. Uh but anyways, my point to that is like if bad just happened, right? The problem is now God knew bad was gonna happen. God knew evil was gonna come, right? And then God's all powerful again, and then God's all loving
It,
again. So then
it,
it's almost like God would have never created anything and just been lonely.
mm,
But then my
Like,
thing with that is it's just I
okay.
feel like it's you know you I guess for me
You
it's
don't
like
go ahead.
staying on focus, but then you're always like, well, if that's the case, why was the tree in the garden to begin with? Why did he create the tree and things like that? And he's like, oh, if you knew everything was gonna happen, you know, why let it happen anyway? Because if
are you
God created the angels,
are you
He
about to
created.
answer that or
Oh,
No,
I want to get into that.
no, no. I'm just
Oh,
saying.
I
I'm just
want to take
saying.
a
I was just
piece of
saying
that.
my thought
I like what
process
he
on
said.
it, where it's like I think he.
and
No, I think he
let's
created
try
good
to tie
and
this back into
evil.
slavery, by the way.
Oh yes,
I
yes,
do
of
want to
course.
tie it back into slavery because all of this can
But
tie into
Um,
slavery.
absolutely.
yeah,
Um,
I'm just it's just from my perspective, it's just kind of like a situation where it's I think it's more neutral about it, not so
Okay, so can God not be all loving
kind.
to you?
mm,
No, I think he could be. I think he could be. I think he'd still be all loving.
So then does that not destroy your argument instantly? I can't be
Well, no, he
neutral.
could.
I can't be neutral if I'm all loving. I can't. And like I said, I'm not all loving, but I can't be
Well, well, well,
neutral.
well, well. Well, if he's all loving, then he has to love the good stuff and he has to love the bad stuff too.
Oh, that's where you're going with it. Okay.
Yeah. If it and neutral in that kind of sense is I like them both equally, so they kind of cancel each other out. Neutral.
Mm.
I'm
ooh,
like there might be some aspect, but then of course then there's like, well, there's clearly stuff that he hates. So he can't be all loving because there's stuff he
Okay, so
definitely does not
you
like.
you kind of jumped ahead of me there then. Okay, because that was going to be my rebuttal
Yeah,
because there's plenty of
yeah.
stuff. There's plenty of stuff that
There's
God says
plenty of
he
stuff that
hates.
he hates.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So okay,
So,
I feel
but
like that
there's
means you're being honest though. Like I do like that because go ahead.
Oh, my bad. Yeah, I
No,
just
no,
wanted
you're
to
good.
piggyback off of something he said with as far as like adding on to like what if the fact that but kind of going in a separate direction. Like what if God was busy? Like we talked about I've heard you talk about, God,
Sorry.
right, God right, 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 hold on. We know God has the power, right? Hold on. We know he has
I'm
the power.
screaming.
Sorry.
But what if,
I'm having a heart
come on,
attack right now.
he's
Oh,
fighting,
good.
no, hold on. He's fighting reptilians, aliens, and let's assume that's real. I mean, are we assuming that's real? I mean, I don't know.
I'm just
are,
laughing,
are
bro,
we?
because my heart's about to come out of my chest. Did you just say God was busy?
Well,
Oh
okay.
God, I
So
can't
you
breathe
would
right
like the
now. I
show.
can't breathe.
Hold on.
Uh,
Humor me for a second.
That's
Hold
funny.
on. I know you probably covered this, and I'm probably a little behind. You've made so many videos, so I'm probably behind. But let's say I was fighting something else. At the time it was
my
slavery.
heart's hurting,
You know,
bro. Oh God.
oh,
Go ahead.
Continue.
I guess yeah. There's just no way around it. But I just wanted to humor you on that. Is that maybe there's other, like I know it doesn't really.
No,
At the
but
time there
okay.
was slavery
All
going
right,
on.
let's
At
be
the
real right
time there
now.
was bad things going on.
Can you
You
give me
know.
the answer? Because this, I like to do this, by the way.
Uh,
It's not to be condescending or anything. What
no,
response would I give you to what you just said? Knowing what I
no.
told you is the main focus of these things. Like, and I like to do this to
He's
everybody
all
because
loving.
there you go. All loving, all what?
Yeah, loving, all powerful, all
So
perfect.
so the
Yeah. It'd be impossible.
the
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
powerful one is the one that defeats your argument instantly,
Yes.
right?
Yep.
So that's the key, right? And that's why I try to make
Mhm.
everybody focus on if we are saying this is the God. It doesn't mean there's no God, by the way. But like
Right.
if this is the God, then nope, it don't make sense anymore. So we have God
Yeah.
wrong. Like that's all I'm saying to anyone, by the way. It's just like I'm not saying there's no God. I'm saying this God is wrong. That's not right.
Right.
And our description of the God is wrong. And that's what I like to focus on because we cannot call something all powerful, yet it does nothing. You can't call
I think you
something
can still be all powerful and not do anything with it.
cool,
I
but then
think.
guess that's it's cool. But then we go
Yeah,
to the
that's where I
next.
was going with him on that.
But then
Trying
we
to
go to the
piggyback
next
off
step.
that. Go ahead. All right, go ahead.
That's why no, you're fine. But that's why I like to break it down like that because somebody will say what you just
Yeah.
said, Blades. But then I'm like, well, wait, what's the other characteristics? Right? Because it's just
Mm.
like you're all powerful and all loving. Now what happens, Blades?
Oh
You
yeah,
feel
you're
there's
just sitting
nothing.
on your butt.
I just feel like I feel like you could still do nothing. I'm like,
You're all loving and all powerful, and you do nothing.
yeah,
Okay.
I think he has. I
Okay,
think he
cool. I'm
can.
actually glad you
I don't
said
think
that,
it's.
right? That you just made me think real fast. Because guess what would happen, Blades?
Mhm.
If that was true, can you guess? If you can't, just say it. I'll just give you the answer.
No, I can't.
Okay, we wouldn't be here. Nobody would be here
Mm.
because
Well,
that would be doing nothing.
You
That
wouldn't have
would
to create.
yeah. There would
Yeah.
be no creation if God was all loving, all powerful, and could still just do nothing. Right? So that means nobody exists. So now I look at God, I'm like, oh shit, you had to create? Hmm. If you had to create, that means there's something that is beyond you, by the way. Like
well, I'm like,
God had to make us? Oh, there's something before God then. If God had to make us.
well, I don't view it like that.
I
I
mean, of course
view
you
it
don't.
kind
That's
of
why I'm
like,
saying it. Yes.
yeah, I'm like, for me, it's just when I think about it, I'm like, it's a little bit more like, yeah, I could, do these things. And yeah, I love both equally, but you know, whether I interact or not intervene with some things could just be more of a,
All right.
on a whim kind of thing,
All right. Let
or
me let
or
me
or
let
or as or on a like a plan that he's kind of like laid out to where, okay, seeing everything, I need to intervene at this point if I want it to go in a direction that
but
they won't see.
Blades, bro, that doesn't make sense.
Well, I'm
Like
like,
it
he's
just
all
doesn't
powerful. He should
it
be able to
just
do anything he wants.
okay. That's a fair statement you just made. Do anything it wants, which now means it has nothing to do with all love, right? It doesn't matter if it loves you and all like what the hell is that? Oh, I just had a crash. Okay. Like it doesn't matter if it's all love, right? If because all loving would be I want to do what's best for you. You're saying it just does what it wants to do, and now we would just have a different conversation. I would think that's closer to the truth, by the way, Blades, because reality shows me that God does whatever the hell God wants, regardless of what anybody feels. If God's real, right? Can we agree on that?
Yeah,
Like
I can see that.
God does whatever the fuck God wants. It doesn't matter if anybody like has a feeling about it or not, right? Okay. So that kind of takes away that it's an all loving thing to me.
Hmm.
Because my whole
But
point
what
to
if somebody?
this, go ahead. Yep.
Sorry.
Go ahead. No, you're good, bro. Go.
What if somebody makes the argument that God wasn't the one that created slavery, though?
According to if we're going by Bible, God is the arbiter of everything.
Mm, mm,
God, just like I love Job, by the way, because of this, because it proves that God literally is in control of everything, right? The devil,
right.
the most other powerful being, has to come ask God to go fuck with people. like, like it's the most amazing story. Like the most amazing story that I've seen is like the fact that the devil has to go beg God after already getting kicked out, by the way. And God still allows the devil to come in and come to the gates and come to
Mm.
the throne room and talk. That's how powerful God is. Which means there is no excuse for God. It just means God wanted it to happen, which means now we have to start wondering why God wanted it to happen, right? Which now turns into apologetics. Like this is what I think the creation of apologetics is. Because everybody knows this. So it's like you have to make excuses for it because everybody knows God is too powerful for everything to not be perfect. God is too powerful. So now we have to start making excuses. Does that make sense?
Mm.
And God doesn't come
Absolutely.
down. God doesn't come down and just tell us why for whatever reasons. Like God doesn't come and just say why I'm doing shit, which I also don't understand why. Like why does God need to hide anything? It literally makes me think there is some other being that is just as powerful as God and God knows it. We don't know it. So God has to fucking trick us to stay away from this other being. Like that like really like if we really start thinking about this situation where God would have to do the things that God does, it would mean that God is scared of something, right?
We, okay, question with that. Would you justify that God
Would I
if he
just
was limited, yeah, to certain powers? Let's just pretend for a second.
I don't even say we have to pretend. I mean, we're pretending, but
But
like
yeah.
if we go
Oh,
by
okay, yeah, just throwing that out there.
if just going by the Bible alone, God is obviously
Mhm.
scared of something.
Mm.
Like I really want y'all to focus on that for a second. Like even going by the Bible, there is something that is holding back God. What is that? because they're like, look, read every story in the Bible. There's literally no reason for God not to just do what God wants. But there is God not doing what God wants in the story. It's weird.
Yeah, following certain protocols, certain procedures. You got to do this, you got to do that. Like certain different religions have different things, you know.
Right. And I'm trying to I'm trying to tie this back into slavery, by the way, because
into Christianity.
like slavery is very key here, because the video I just made, if y'all haven't watched it, selfish plug, go watch it. The point of the video is Alex O'Connor is asking the other guy, I think his name's, I don't know his name, who cares? Doesn't matter. But he is saying, like, because the guy is giving excuses to why the Bible is not against slavery. And he was like, well, they couldn't say that in that time because Rome had a law against it. So Alex O'Connor looks at him like, hold on, we're talking about the fucking God. Like, why does God have to play by Rome's rules? Right? And then Alex O'Connor again brings up a good point where he says that, well, they practiced Christianity when it was illegal. So it must be that they wanted slavery also as the reason why they did not speak against it. So it had nothing to do with Rome, because they were persecuted as Christians at a point and they still practiced Christianity. So Paul did not have to go to Rome and try to change the rules. All he had to do was tell his other Christians, hey, don't own slaves. But the Bible never says that one time. Not once does the Bible ever tell anyone to not own slaves. That is insane. Like I don't think anyone has ever come up with an excuse for that. There is no reason. And remember, because of one of the excuses as the apologists, they're like, oh, all these guys died for Christ and died for the beliefs. So if they would die for Christ, would they not just say, hey, slavery is bad? But none of these men, none of them said slavery was bad. Now, let's take away God for a second, because I think everybody would agree, if God's not involved and we're just talking about our government right now, why does the government not make laws against trading when you're in the government? Easy answer, right?
Because they benefit from it.
Yes, there you go. It's like, it's an easy ass answer. There's a reason why the people in charge never make laws against them having stocks. It's the most obvious corruption there ever has been in the government, maybe. Like, you should not be able to own stocks when you can actually manipulate the market. But guess what? No, not one of them, by the way, ever makes laws against that. It's because it benefits it. So now just go 300 years in the future real fast, and we have these people writing a book about our government, but they believe in the government. They're going to come up with an excuse on why the government couldn't make laws against stock trading. It's like, and it sounds stupid, by the way. I hope it sounds stupid to everyone, because that's how stupid this slavery story is. Like, it's so stupid. Go ahead.
That's why
I talked long enough. Go ahead.
That's why I said from my perspective, it would be just more of an indifferent than, a flat out, him saying, having a statement against it or whatever, that it's just a flat out indifference.
Okay, so God's indifferent about slavery, but God cares if you eat fish.
Hey, it may not make a lot of sense, but
no, come on, man. Let's stick with me on that one right there, right?
I'm just saying there might be a. I don't know. I don't know.
God cares. God cares if you wear different fabrics together. Like, we can keep going on it, right? God cares about some stupid shit if we're saying God doesn't care about slavery.
Yeah. I think, but see, I think that could still be true. I think he could not care about slavery and still have particulars about other things.
Yeah, but how does that make you feel, though? I agree with you. You're right. It's God, right? In this scenario, God can do whatever God wants. But does it make sense, though? Like, I know we can come up with reasons, but I don't
Well, okay.
always think reasons make sense, right?
Well, I'm like, it
And
doesn't.
we all
I'm like,
go ahead.
hmm. I was gonna say, I'm like, I feel like that. Then it's just a matter of it doesn't make sense to us why this happens if we're
so, so,
talking about this, but
so
Wait,
you
wait.
it may not need to, and from his perspective, maybe
okay? So then God's a jerk.
What? But wait, what
he
about on the
could
flip
be.
side of something?
Go ahead.
I got some. What if, but at the same time, we now don't, well, I wouldn't say slavery is completely abolished across the world, but does God have a hand in that, though? The responsibility of actually canceling it out?
No,
I mean,
because
or does that even matter? Does he even get, because he gets credit for everything, apparently,
God
according to the
does not
Bible,
get
he's like,
credit for slavery
thank
because
God,
God does not say. And here's the thing: I don't know about every religion. If somebody knows, by the way,
mhm.
is there a religion that's against slavery? I do not know of one.
Mm,
Like I don't know of a
I,
religion that actually
me
says
neither.
don't own slaves. And to me, it makes sense because guess what? Almost all religions were made by fucking selfish ass people that wanted to take advantage of people. So it's like it makes sense that it's all man made. And I want to always caveat this with it does not mean there's no
Mm.
God. It just means all of the fucking stories that we read are made by selfish ass men, by the way. I don't think there's one religion made by women. So it's just like
Oh, man.
all of these religions are made by like mean ass ancient cave like men. And I'm not a man hater, by the way, so don't label me as that. Like I'm definitely not that guy either. But I will admit some things. It's like every single religion is just a bunch of ancient men that like to rape young women. That's who made it. I don't know. I think we can use rape on YouTube.
Okay.
Uh,
Okay.
I
We'll
Oh
I
get
think
Lord,
monetized.
I guess.
I guess we'll say grape just in
All right.
case.
Great. Yeah.
Yeah. But all of that adds up
So
to me. Go ahead.
God gets no credit for the end for the slavery ending.
No.
If we fast forward,
No.
he gets no credit.
Mm-mm.
Oh damn. Even Blades is against that.
Uh,
So he's just
I
neutral,
I don't think
according to
Mm-mm.
Blades.
I don't think he. No, I mean, if
What do
it
you think, Blades?
completely ended in the world, I still feel like he doesn't get credit for it because it still would be us making our own choices to go in that direction,
So
unless
God
it's
has
more of a
no. Oh, go ahead.
unless you go with the route that he's influencing everyone's decisions, which then goes against free will and all of that. If you know can't
I mean,
influence and
God can't care about free will if he's okay with slavery.
Oh, okay. Just had to throw that in there.
I mean, that's just the
well,
truth, right?
Yeah.
he
Uh,
cares about it in the sense of you're free to do what you want with other people.
Oh yeah. I'm glad you did that
mm,
because now we can segue into another
oh,
conversation that somebody was telling me that I should talk about. Whereas the fact that God seems to care more about the abusers than the victims.
users more than the victims.
Right. Like the victims have to
Okay.
forgive. The abusers can just believe in Jesus and be free.
Oh,
So like it's like the abuser can do whatever the hell they want as long as they just at the end before they die say, "Hey, I believe in Jesus Christ as my personal Lord and Savior. Died for my sins. I'm good to go." Jeffrey Dahmer is probably the perfect example. According to the religion, Jeffrey Dahmer is now at least waiting to go to heaven. He ate
I
and
think
killed and did horrible things to a lot of people, but he was saved and he's good to go.
I think some of that might be more so to help bring peace to the victims in the sense of
Bro, if somebody does something to
not
my
holding.
my I say my daughters, I'm a little sexist. I tell my son to man up. But somebody does something to my daughters, bro. Kidding me. I'm not, like, you think I'm gonna tell them to just forgive them? Come on, man.
I'm like, it's your choice. It's your choice. You know, that type of thing. It's but I'm saying him saying that still it doesn't negate your choice to do what you want to do. But I
Yeah,
think
but
some of it's
can
just
you
more.
really like and like is I don't believe you can even make yourself believe anything, right? So I don't think you can make yourself forgive somebody. You can say it out loud all you want. You can't make yourself forgive, just like you can't make yourself believe.
I put it in that sense of when people say forgive but not forget kind of thing. I think I'm thinking. See, when I view it, I think of it more of in like a longer span of just when I of not holding on to it when if you are incapable of getting the the justice you want for it. Now in some cases, I know it might be like, well, I want them dead, but I can't kill
Okay.
them. You know, like you
Okay.
could, but
Mhm.
in the case of that where it's just like kind of like you can have whatever feelings you have, but to get toward some type of healing of it, you know, and it's obviously complex. So, but that's what I think when I hear forgive. It's more toward a step toward like healing, which is why you don't get it on the victims because the victims don't have to heal because they don't care about, they're
Wait,
not as impacted the same way.
did I hear
The
you
the the
wrong?
abusers, no, no, I meant the abusers don't
Oh,
have to forgive.
wait, no, heal, heal, heal.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I say. I said the forgiveness is probably a step toward healing in that sense. And that's why you focus on the abusers and not I mean on the victims and not the abusers because from the abusers perspective it's always just kind of like um
Wait, are we saying that an abuser would never feel bad?
no, I'm not no, I'm saying in the terms of when they don't have a line for abusers for the abusers and stuff to kind of what's the word uh where you said it kind of feels like all they had to do is repent and they're good and they don't have to do anything else.
Say that one more time.
I said when you were saying that it seemed like there was more focus on the what was it, the victims than the abusers.
Oh, more of a the victim is expected to do more. Let me just say it that way. I can't think of the words right now. The victim is expected to. We expect more out of the victim than the abusers for some
And
reason.
less out of the abuser. Yeah, in
Yeah,
some cases.
and that's why I said because the victims would have a lot more in this case, you know, justified trauma and more impact on them than let's say the abusers that necessarily unless they change their mind, start feeling like a whole change of lifestyle kind of thing where they go through the thing, but for the most part while they're abusing. They, generally don't care as much. They're just going about doing their own thing.
The abuser.
So that's what, yeah, the abusers. So while they're doing all of this, so they're not really building up any kind of anything toward it. It's only after they stop that it might be like, okay, after I'm not abusing them, that maybe I might lean towards suddenly getting this heavy guilt or whatever the case may be,
Okay,
where it's like,
I agree with
okay,
that part. Yeah,
and
the
and it's
adrenaline
like,
goes away.
yeah, that's why I focus more on the abuser because on the victims, because the victims are more likely, especially if there's more of them. Like if we talk about like in slavery context, there's more victims than abusers.
Mm-hmm.
It's more more likely for them to retaliate, hold on to it more, do things like that.
I'm kind of glad you said that
That
part because there's another key to this slavery thing that is shown in history. There is a reason why a certain group is the most religious in the United States.
oh yeah, I know where you're going with that.
So that's sad to me, man. Let me just say it that way. That's very sad to
but
me that
but would you blame would that be but would you blame God specifically for that, for how people use the Bible to manipulate people like that?
yes, yes,
It's still
because
God's fault.
all
Yeah.
God had to do was tell Paul to say, don't own slaves. People could have still done opposite, by the way. Don't get me wrong. But I would be standing here being like, man, the Bible didn't tell y'all to do that, though. Almost every bad thing that people use the Bible for, guess what? They can use the Bible to prove it. That's what's
Well,
so.
then you always have,
One
but then
second,
I
hold
always
on.
think about
But that's what's so creepy about the Bible. Every misuse of the Bible, we could go through history right now. No one has actually misused the Bible. They've used the Bible. Like, if you can, anybody in chat, by the way, name one thing in the Bible that I can't use, or sorry, name one bad thing in history that has people have used the Bible for that isn't actually in the Bible. Can anybody do that? I'll wait, Patal, because you're probably the one that's going to probably say something. So name one thing in the Bible that has been misused that isn't actually in the Bible. The Bible is not a nice book. This is my point to everyone, by the way. It is a very interesting story, and I'll always say that. I actually always tell people to read it. Like, you got to read the Bible. Like, that shit's insane. Like, read the fucking Bible, man. Like, I do tell everyone that. Like, that's like, it might be the best book ever freaking made. Like, it's a fucking interesting book. But
I can't argue that.
like, and I think that's what makes people think it's so powerful because people wrote it so long ago and it's still powerful. But the question is to anyone out there, name one thing that was misused in the Bible that actually can't be also represented as truth in the Bible. So
Crickets.
I wouldn't know specifically for that answer, but my first thought always comes into, what is it that they always tell us, the golden rule, love thy neighbor as thyself.
I wouldn't even say
And then
that's in
you're
the
like,
Bible. That's before the Bible. And you're actually, Blades, you know me too well, bro. Because my next thing was that every good thing in the Bible was already there before the Bible.
Because in the Bible is there before.
Say
Trying to
again?
keep up.
Sorry, brother.
Trying to keep up. Trying to keep up.
Oh, yeah,
Every
okay,
good
okay.
thing was there before the Bible.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Like people pretend that like when Jesus came along, all of a sudden the world had morals. Like that's just not true. Like
Oh
it's
yeah,
not.
yeah, yeah. Makes
It's,
sense. Makes sense.
it's
Makes
just
sense.
not true.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. Yeah.
people were telling other people to treat everybody good way before Jesus came.
Yeah.
Tons about being. I'm gonna try to catch us to the chat a little bit while y'all chat. Looks like there was a lot going on.
Oh.
But yeah, okay. Nobody's really saying. They're just.
I,
Hey, I don't mind y'all
yeah,
arguing with each other a little
I
bit. No
feel.
problem.
Oh yeah, man. I feel like I almost got to play semantics with that. It's still pretending like I'm on the defending the fence of the Christian side. I'm wearing the shield. I'm the Avengers for them. Is that like I don't know, the whole free will thing is just like something you guys said about the past. With how things are evolving, with how we're saying that that's people, right? Like you said, all right, something about Paul, right? Back in the
Mhm.
why didn't God tell Paul to change, right? To change, to
I,
stop doing
bro,
slavery,
I
right?
just
To
asked.
stop.
I just asked Paul to write a few words.
Oh, okay, a few words. What now? Okay, how does that change if we fast forward that into the future? If we started, because now we have people like Abraham Lincoln. I'm going into like,
Okay.
but it still ties into slavery, right? Like he was the guy that, I know there's more in depth into the whole, more specifics on who abolished slavery, yeah,
Well,
but just making a point of,
I'll tell you about Abraham
go
real
ahead.
fast. Um, and
Yeah,
and 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 this is kind of like when I started critiquing Jesus more too, because we have these heroes.
Mhm.
And once you learn how they really were, they're not as much heroes
Right,
because they're just people. So
right, right.
Abraham Lincoln, one of the quotes that they try to hide is that if I
Hmm.
could not free a single slave and end the war, I would do it. So he was not caring about freeing slaves. He just realized, like, he was a smart guy, like, hey, we can't keep this shit up. I don't actually care about the slaves, but we can't keep this shit up, y'all. Like, we will destroy
Yeah,
ourselves if we don't end slavery. Like, that's
you feel like that was done more out of a selfish type of
not even
like going
selfish,
back
but
to.
I mean, okay, everything's
Okay,
selfish, by the way. Like,
right. I
let's just
remember
be
you.
real on that. Like everything's selfish. So I still give Abraham Lincoln credit for recognizing that, right? But it wasn't like something where he was like, "It's so bad." He did think it was bad because
Oh,
he does have quotes about thinking it's bad because one of his quotes was, "If this isn't wrong, nothing's wrong." Like that's
okay.
like one of his literal quotes about slavery. Like, yeah, this shit ain't wrong and ain't shit wrong, which is true, by the way. Like that's how horrible they were treating slaves. Like if slavery in the United States
Right.
wasn't wrong, then yeah, anything is fucking okay. Um, but anyways, so he obviously had something against it, but he would have rather the country not go into a civil war if he could have, and that's why I kind of say a little downward thing on the whole Mount Rushmore shit. Because
Mm.
if anybody should be on Mount Rushmore, it would have been him. But yeah, he wasn't
Mhm.
that nice of a guy either. It's just like,
Oh man.
so- like the whole Mount
Well, I'm
Rushmore
sorry I
is
brought
like
him up.
it's like a bunch of just fucking horrible slave owners, by the way. Just all of that
Mm.
shit. Just like fuck all those guys. I mean, except for sorry, Roosevelt wasn't a slave owner because slaves weren't there. Uh, because who is it? Washington, Roosevelt, Lincoln.
Mhm.
I don't know the other one. Somebody help me.
Mm.
There's
I
one
don't
more.
even know who's on
I'm on my.
Mount Rushmore.
Somebody in the chat, give me the Mount Rushmore. Anyways, we'll keep going as the chat probably times in there. uh, but back
So okay,
to you were giving me a devil's advocate. Go ahead.
right. It's like but felt like it was a little semantic, a little bit. Was the whole someone came along. and chop down this. But I think where you were
Jefferson.
going was that it had it.
Jefferson's on there. Sorry.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Another
Forgot
slave
about him.
owner that had a bunch of black babies.
Oh man. So basically, I don't know where I'm going with this. I guess the whole Paul thing. I'm going back to how how Paul should have been one that was told that, yeah, this was wrong. But I felt like at some point it was stopped. Slavery was stopped. Someone stopped it,
Yeah.
but
2,000 years later.
so it's too late.
Like, no,
Yeah.
like literally 2,000 years later.
No. Yeah.
That's not the
Yeah. Yeah.
Bible. That's
I know
just,
that's bad.
that's literally just like we said before. That's everything outside of the Bible that forced people to actually just end slavery. Because
Mm.
I, as a evil, say I'm evil Jay, right? I could use the Bible to be evil.
Mhm.
Everything is there. That's why the book is so awesome, by the way. Like everything is there for you to use it however you want. Like those ancient men had something there, right? And that's why people think it's so special. I keep saying that they figured out,
Cuckoo, but they were smart. Yeah.
right? They figured out how to make it transcend time,
Mm.
right? So like every generation looks at the Bible and be like, "Yep, that's us." So you talk about the end of times, right? You talk about revelations. It looks like every single generation ever. That's always the end. And you know why? Because guess what? Humans wrote it, which we are almost the exact, or no, sorry, we are the exact same as people 2,000 years ago. We're the exact same as people 10,000 years ago. We're almost the same as people a million years ago. The only difference is our technology. So that is why the story just goes through time because we have almost the same brains. We do all of the same shit, and that's why the story makes sense. But if we could have some story from let's just say
Mhm.
Lucy, right? Like if we have some story from Lucy, I bet you that story would make fucking sense to us at all. Like it would just seem like gibberish, right? Like if you start looking at some of them ancient cave paintings, they start to look a little weird. And then
Right.
as you progress the other way, it starts making sense. Like you start getting into like all these other things. Oh, it makes sense now. Cuneiform makes a little more sense, and all these things like a little more sense. But anyways, I'm getting off subject a little bit. But my whole point to this was that for Paul, like going back to the
Uh,
slavery point, like there is no reason that Paul could not have just written, "Hey y'all, if you're a Christian, you can't own slaves." It doesn't mean anybody would have listened, by the way.
Then now my question is, why specifically Paul and not Jesus
uh,
himself?
oh well, shit. I'm trying to be nice. Jesus definitely should have said that shit. But most of I would say most Christians now actually go off of Paul. They think they follow Jesus, but you're really following Paul. Paul is the one that was the last interpreter, I say, of Jesus's teachings. Which is also why a lot of scholars will say that Paul contradicts Jesus a lot because Jesus was more old school. Paul was trying to get the Gentiles. Jesus didn't come for the Gentiles, by the way. He says it. It's why he called the girl a bitch, the woman that was begging him to heal. Like he ended up helping her, but he said, "Get away from me, dog." And it's a female, so female dog. Get it? Uh huh. But like Paul,
um,
is the one that Jesus came to last in the revelation. At least that's what he says, right? So it's just like he actually starts twisting Jesus' words a bit into changing into more of a non-Jewish thing, right? And like I think if we had some of Jews here, they would actually explain it better than me. on why they don't even believe in the New Testament at all.
Whew.
Y'all got to talk if y'all don't want me to talk. You know, I'll talk forever.
Yeah, I didn't have anything to say
That's
to that
heavy.
statement.
Yeah, that's heavy.
No
Oof,
questions, no state. Like, I don't know. There should be
that's
something, I
heavy.
feel.
No, no,
Damn.
because I don't know enough to question all of that.
Yeah, I
That
got
is
to be
above
honest.
my pay grade.
I haven't read enough of the Bible to know, I know a few scriptures and all that, but that I don't know enough of the Bible to, I really got to get back into it and read it, you know, and
Oh,
actually, get my facts straight
You,
behind it because,
even if I
I
read
can't,
it, I probably wouldn't be able to counter that
yeah.
effectively.
I think what it is, man, I'm really lazy, but like what it is that, a lot of the reading it's a little old school. Well, little, it's got a lot of old wording and, it's the way it's translated. My ADHD would just, not keep up.
They
I'd have
make
to keep
modern
going.
Bibles.
Uh,
I've seen
well,
the
that's the
Bibles
yeah,
one
with
thing about like
I
translations,
would not be
the
man.
able to
Like,
focus on that.
how can we trust that they actually translated Jesus's words correctly?
Mm.
Like
well,
me and you can like Blades. Tell me what I said 20 minutes ago. You can't. I don't even know what I said 20 minutes ago.
I can't.
Like, but
No.
we expect that people knew what Jesus said 30 years later. Like, I like you could probably tell me the context, maybe, but you can't tell me exactly what I said 20 minutes ago. But we say these ancient men that almost none of them
Mhm.
could write, by the way, remembered what the hell Jesus said exactly word for word. That's just bullshit. That's bullshit. I'm gonna be harsh on that one because it's total bullshit.
I might digress for a little bit. I got a question because remember I had got into a discussion with someone on another YouTube channel, another video or whatever, and I was arguing on the side of the atheist. And the question I had asked her was actually brought up a good point about the whole because I asked her where did the statues of Jesus come from? Where are the crosses? Where are these things? Kind of put my foot in my mouth because anyone can make a statue and be like, hey, this is Jesus Christ, and we have all this. And but she brought up an interesting point about the crosses and how they were she said they were like cut up, divided it. I don't know if you know the story behind that. That proved that this was the legit, you know, cross of Jesus Christ. That it was.
Wait, who said they had the
Um.
real cross of Jesus Christ?
Oh yeah, that it was like a copied or something. They divided it. It was just broken up into
That's
pieces, and
hey,
then
bro. That sounds like some what's the damn movie with Tom Hanks? What's the movie?
oh,
He go into
no,
the
damn,
Vatican and stuff, and he be
I
getting.
know what you're talking about.
He's like a treasure hunter. What is that movie?
I don't
Oh
remember that
shoot,
name of that
I
movie.
messed
I know what
myself
he's
up
talking
already.
about too.
Sorry.
Freak. Oh, I know what he's talking about too.
It don't matter.
Uh,
Anyways, it's like an
but
old
yeah,
two
anyway,
thousand ish movie
yeah,
where
I don't know
he's
why I
like a
brought that up,
freaking
but
he's like a treasure hunter. Da Vinci Code. There we
yep,
go. Thank
Da
you,
Vinci
brother.
Code.
There you
Oh yeah,
go.
that was a beautiful movie.
Yeah. Bro, that's when I was in the shit. Like I loved the Da Vinci Code, bro. Like I'm not even lying. I'll be so honest with you guys. Like I was so in it, man. Like I said, I almost ruined my life off of this stuff. So like
So
I
we're
I didn't get anything. Like why are we doing
well,
anything besides
mhm,
praising Jesus? Like
right.
that's how I used to think. I used to get mad at my
So,
parents, mad at everybody. I'm just like, what are we
uh-huh.
doing, y'all? Like, no, let's just
hmm
go praise Jesus. Like the end is coming
now,
right now.
right now, with me bringing that up, what I guess from digressing a little bit from the whole slavery thing was that like where is the cross? Like where? As it does the Bible even talk about that? Like where I know they say, okay, he rose from the dead 3 days later or whatever, and
Well, to be
but
fair,
where's
like
the evidence?
to be
Where's the
fair in a
evidence of,
way,
you
like
know, I want to.
of course, where's the evidence? But to be fair, like they crucified people all the time. That was nothing. It also makes you wonder
Right.
why it was considered special. Um, Technically, if you look at the history of crucifixion, Jesus did not suffer any worse than anyone else that was crucified. So it's not even something that was more special for Jesus. Like he literally was hanging next to two other people. If the story's true, you don't think they got beat to shit too and nailed onto the
Yeah.
cross? So it's just like I don't that story doesn't even make sense to me. Like
Hmm.
I don't know, man. A lot of it is just obviously a story. Um, it's so, and here's the thing about it, right? It's just like, of course, he had two people next to him that one denied him and one didn't. That's a story, man.
Too
Why did?
convenient.
Yeah, it's too convenient, bro. That's just a fucking story to just make a point. It's a good story, by the way. And even when I read it now, it'll make you think. It's a good story, but it's obviously a story because, yeah, of course, there was one guy that believed Jesus and one guy that didn't, and they were both bad people. It's to show the world that, hey, all you have to do is recognize the truth. You
Hmm.
can be a bad person, just recognize the truth. Don't be like your friend over here that doesn't recognize the truth. Like it's obvious story. It's obvious. Just like Garden of Eden, obvious story. Just like slavery, obvious story. There's a reason why Paul didn't say anything against slavery. Oh, because slavery was literally the fucking world back then.
It was what, yeah, what was in, what was popular.
Well, not
It
even
sounds so messed
popular. It
up.
was literally the economy.
Right.
Like it was like so engraved into the economy. Of course, they weren't gonna fucking end slavery because you have this sect of
It's
people
convenient. Yeah.
that are
Hmm.
trying to make their own culture in cities. You have to use the economy that is going
Hmm.
on, right? So you're trying to create, like, this is how I look at it. You're trying to create Israel. You have to use the technology that is back then, and technology was slavery.
Which, yeah.
Just like right now, if you try to build a new company, you probably better have AI, right? Like so it's just like it's I don't know. It's a story that it's just like when you just look at it without emotion, that's why I always say throw away your feelings in every video. Is as soon as you throw away your feelings, you can start looking at things in a more truer light, objectively. So it's just I don't know. It's something I think about. Looks like we don't have anybody that is willing to step up to the plate
Yeah.
besides you guys, by the way.
Come on, guys. Get in here.
Yeah.
Like
All you Christians.
y'all are arguing like crazy in there. Nobody's stepping up.
Come on,
Yeah,
man. We
we
got to
might
have a
have to
Buddhist
call
out
it,
there
bro.
somewhere.
Like like just one. Where
You
y'all
know?
at? Like
Could
y'all are
have a
talking a lot,
Muslim
by
in
the
their
way.
chat.
I do like that y'all are chatting it up, but where y'all at? But
All right.
what
I think
else?
I'm gonna
What
have
else?
to call it.
You it is getting late. I know, Blade. So I appreciate you
All
coming in,
right.
bro.
Us East Coasters, you know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Uh,
For sure, brother.
Yeah,
I'm sure me and you will have a conversation about this on our own as well.
yeah, yeah. Well, it was a nice chat, everyone.
All right, brother. Take care, man.
all right, Blaze. Nice meeting you.
Pretty nice meeting you too. Take care, everyone.
All right, man. Yeah, Patal can call in, but Patal won't call in.
Yeah, what's up, Patal? Just
Like
talking all that
he be talking,
that
man.
God stuff.
I really wanna talk to that to you, by the way, because I said I'm not mean, so I'm not going to be mean to you. I'm just like you have a lot of emotion
Right.
and like you seem to really want to talk about it. So I would love to hear your energy. By the way,
Sure, for sure.
you bunch of clowns
You
talk nonsense. This is I don't know, Andrew. If I don't know
oh,
who you're
we're
talking to. Not sure, but
uh
but Andrew, if you want to jump in, you're welcome to. Like we're looking for somebody. It is getting late for me as well, so I'm trying to get a little chance. I gotta work. By the way, I ain't making
uh-huh.
money. I ain't making buku money or nothing. So it's just I gotta take my ass to work in the morning. So I don't call in to platforms because a lot of questions that are asked only God knows. Yeah, but you're kind of speaking for God a lot. I will say that to you. You say that when I say call in, but it seems that you are speaking for God quite a bit. um, what you got anything, Los? I'm thinking about ending this in about 10 minutes, unless if somebody doesn't
Okay.
jump in.
No, yeah, I mean, we pretty much covered a lot. I mean, broke it down. I mean, I tried to be in defense of religion and see how that goes, but there's almost no defending, any form of, it's just an understanding of how, things like that came to be. Like you said it perfectly with technology, the economy. I mean, it makes sense, and no religion ever said, "Hey, stop, that's bad." It seemed like over time, people as humans got their
Mm,
heads together and ended this thing.
yeah,
I can't really. I don't know how I would ingest, or put God in this type of situation to make him, seem like the good guy or the almighty loving being. you
it's
know,
tough, right? It is tough. It's tough.
yeah, with slavery, it's almost like he loved, and I get that topic, all right, God must have loved slavery, but it's like, ah, I couldn't answer that, I'm not the almighty, but I would, I don't know.
It's
And
tough.
it's like slavery's not something that you can just wash away. It's not, oh hey, let's just, forget it ever happened and let's call be bygones be bygones. It's
Right?
tough.
Yeah, exactly.
I think
It's
like come
okay.
on.
It's okay, buddy. I owned your family and whipped the shit out of y'all and killed your babies and raped you guys and all
Right.
that. And it's just like, oh, be good, be cool.
What?
Yeah. All right, that's cool, man.
Okay.
I do
All
appreciate
right.
you joining
Yeah.
up.
Of
Um,
course. I appreciate you having me, man. It was a
y-
pleasure. I
yeah,
learned something.
you're
And
always welcome.
hopefully,
Again, you were enjoyable, so I
all
do
right.
appreciate that.
All right, man. You have a good night. Good
All
night,
right,
chat. See you guys later.
all right. Thank you, brother. Peace. All right, guys. Unless anyone else is about to jump in, we're about to go ahead and end it. It wasn't as long as a stream as before, but it's all right. We hit about 2 hours, 40 minutes. So, um, I'm trying to figure out a schedule. The only way I can figure out a schedule is just by streaming and then seeing when people show up. So, like Wednesday would be on my schedule now, since people showed up. Tuesday seems like not. So we'll see. I'm just gonna do this for like a week or so to just figure out when people want to come in and show up, because talking to myself, I might as well just go make videos, which I still enjoy. Uh, and I don't want to take away making videos to sit here and talk to myself, which is what I'm doing in videos anyway. So I definitely appreciate everybody for joining, and just make sure you click your buttons, get the notifications, because that's how you know when I go live. Um, so as always, guys, I'm Jay. Don't forget, you throw away your feelings, open your minds and question your beliefs. You guys have a good night. Thank you.